Happy Thursday, everybody. You are listening to Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 AM or AM 1240 or A 1240 M. Whatever way you want to put it, that's what you're listening to. This is the Mr. Judd Show. I am Eric Judd. You can always listen to us anywhere at any time on the TuneIn Radio app. That's the TuneIn Radio app, and it's free. That's right. If you have a smartphone, it is free. Just download that app and then type in Hot News 1240 AM, and boom, you can hear us anywhere you want to go. And today, after all, it is Thursday. And what happens on Thursday? The one, the only, the sports legend, the greatest broadcaster in Chattanooga history. No, he's not here, but Keon is. Hey, Keon, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
As always, it's good to have you here on my show. And in the last segment of the show, we're going to talk about something a new endeavor you have, a kind of a temporary gig, and that starts on this radio station this afternoon. We'll go into that. Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
It's temporary, but I hope that it
may become permanent. It may become more permanent. I agree. So how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
The weather's been absolutely
the weather
awful,
outside is frightful. I'm sorry, wrong time of year. Yes.
But we're getting there, though.
I agree. It has not been a beautiful week, and it's hurt me in my other job, but that's okay. It's going to be a beautiful weekend, and I will catch up.
You'll catch up?
As most people know, I'm a landscaper by trade. No, I'm kidding. I am kidding. All right. Two things we want to, before we jump into everything, because we are going to talk some sports here in just a moment. Hey, I want to make sure everybody knows that you got to help the people at Love Expressed, and that's the ones that do the bus stop ministry, and they need all kind of toiletries, and they need dry goods for breakfast. This is two individuals that they put on at least 100 breakfasts a day for kids going to school, and they're doing a great job. What I need you to do is go to the Chattanoogans for Justice on Facebook. That's Chattanoogans for Justice on Facebook. Find out exactly what they need. I think they've got it posted there. And then you can either contact them direct through Facebook and figure out a way to meet so we can get this down to the bus stop ministry, or you can drop it off at the station here at Hot News Talk Radio. And it's 4706 Hickson Pike. That's 4706 Hickson Pike. And just bring it down, and we'll make sure we get the goods to you. No checks or cash. They are needing toiletry items, and they're also needing paper items such as paper plates and napkins and stuff like that, so they can continue to feed these kids about 100 a day. That's 500 a week, so they need our help. And we've already had one Hot News Talk listener that actually come up and said, here's what I want to do, and we've had others drop stuff off. We've got stuff coming in, from all over, and we do appreciate that from our listeners. Okay, Keon, we're going to talk some sports.
Yes.
Okay. What's on your plate? My plate right now has meatloaf and green peas, and I know it's an odd breakfast, but I was hungry this morning.
That's true. I mean, that sounds absolutely delicious.
It does. Probably I'm hungry myself.
Better and more nutritious for you than U.S. women's soccer. But that's what's on my plate now.
I don't know.
The U.S. women's national team.
I agree. They had I read where that was the largest crowd that have seen them play in the U.S.
Yeah, and it was
Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee,
and the largest that has ever happened in the Southeast.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, sold out, 20,353 seats filled. I mean, that's incredible.
It is incredible. And then, of course, they had a weather delay of about an hour and 20 minutes, and they continued playing. And
people stayed. People stayed through the rain.
I mean, that says a lot. Of course, if I'd have paid that money, I'd have stayed too.
That's true.
But they actually emptied out the stadium. A friend of mine worked security down there, and he said they had to empty out the stadium, and then they had to let them back in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because of all the lightning. I guess they don't want them sitting on the aluminum benches. But
that seems wise.
But USA won. That's the main thing.
And they won 7-2. It was basically nonstop scoring from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
I've seen some of the highlights, and it was good. I tell you what, I'm not a big soccer person, but it is getting a little more exciting to watch. So,
I mean, I think soccer has been exciting to watch. I think what happens with soccer is two things hold it back. It doesn't have the aggression, I think, that a lot of American sports have. Like, we have big hits in football. We've got huge dunks in basketball. You don't really have that for soccer.
I think, to me, two things. There's not a break. In baseball, you change at innings. Basketball, you have a timeout or a break between quarters. Football, the same thing, but you have two halves in soccer. And also, I don't understand the penalty thing at the end where you think the game's over, but they've still got another 23 minutes to play because of penalties. I don't get that.
It's basically because they don't stop the clock. Whenever someone gets injured or there's
they add it on to the end.
They add it on to the end of the game.
So
that's kind of.
But I would say this: it's almost kind of like tennis, where the women right now probably are garnering more attention and more fans than the men's soccer.
Yes, and at least in tennis, it's the whole thing. Like, all the women in tennis are really exciting to watch.
They are,
not just the American women. Where in soccer, the American women are pretty much.
And that's what we would watch. I mean, we're not, America's not known for supporting other countries.
Like, no, I just thought I'd watch some Istanbul.
Yeah,
I just felt like watching them today.
Yeah. No.
They're pretty solid.
But
if you look at like men's soccer, the U.S. men aren't as dominant, but they are better than
they were
for us.
You're right.
But from top to bottom, men's soccer is just better.
And we have dominated in women's soccer, for at least the past 16, 17 years.
It's been a while, and I think that this recent World Cup, it's going to be a little while longer.
Oh, I would say so.
There's going to be some young girls watching this and going, "Hey, I'd like to do that."
You may have hit something there on soccer. I know that there are a lot of girls playing soccer, and it's big, and it's also a huge college sport at this point too, which, that whole Title IX gets in there. But I think that is probably another where the fan base is coming from. It is women are playing it at a younger and younger age. And so that's the sport that they're following.
I think because if you take a look at men's sports, our best male athletes, they're playing basketball, they're playing football, they're playing baseball.
You're right.
Our best female athletes are playing soccer.
Yeah, and hockey. No. They are playing soccer, and and I think that when you start hearing from the U.S. team the women's names, and that you start recognizing those names, and you get that mental picture of who that person is, I think that's the barrier and the hurdle they had to get over, like the other sports.
Right, and Alex Morgan and Carly Lloyd and Hope Solo. Like, these are names I didn't even look them up. Like, I actually have heard them so often now. Like you said,
you know what they look like, and what they look like. Where other sports, if you say LeBron James and in basketball, what he looks like, how his style of play, and I think you're finally seeing that in women's soccer. One other fact, but because we're going to talk more sports, we're going to actually get into some college football and other things. The Lookouts won last night, and they won big, 11-0. The playoffs, I think the tickets for the playoffs are about to go on sale. They won the first half, and I believe they're here the 10th and 11th of September. So when those go on sale, we do need a sellout so we can get our Lookouts to go to the Southern League Championship.
And see if
also, did you hear the David Tulis show? He made a big announcement. David Tulis is on before me. He's on from 9 to 11, and he wants to be called DT. So we're going to start calling him DT. Or actually, Mr. DT.
Catch him up with the times.
Yeah, he said he wanted to be more hip, and he's ready to get in here and do some things. And I tell you, he was on fire today. If you missed his show, then you need to go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in Hot News Talk Radio, and you can watch all of our past shows. Facebook. I forgot to mention Facebook. I'll let you take that.
You can also visit Facebook, search Hot News Talk Radio in the search bar on Facebook. You'll find us, and I am actually running the Facebook. You are
Mr. Facebook.
I'll be our director of social media, I guess.
That's it.
And I'm going to put shows up there. I'm going to link it, in case you missed it, kind of thing.
Sure.
So you can search for the David Tulis Show on YouTube, but you can listen to DT just by clicking on the link on
DT
Facebook.
Is in the house. That's what we're supposed to say.
That's what we're supposed to say. In front of that?
What?
Like, is it the DT or is he DT?
I don't know. And I don't even know if there's an S.
I don't even know. Or is it Donald or the
He could
Donald?
be the David.
He could be the David.
Maybe he's the David. Maybe that's what we should start calling him that. I know he wants to be called DT, but maybe we can call him the David.
Right.
It's the David.
I'm into that.
Yeah, I like that too. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. My name is Eric Judd. This is the Mr. Judd Show, and I have Keon, the sports guy, the most knowledgeable sports guy in the room right now. How about that? I'll give you that.
There we go.
We've got a break.
Accurate.
We'll be right back. We don't have a break. We have an opportunity to connect you with some great businesses that are going to talk to you about what they do. And we hope that you visit these establishments today. Once again, you're listening to AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Costa, host of the Costa Report, every Sunday at 9 a.m. My guest this week is one of our nation's most acclaimed legal scholars, Mr. Alan Dershowitz. Will be here to lay out the case for and against the nuclear agreement with Iran. Don't miss Alan Dershowitz this Sunday at 9 a.m. on the Costa Report, right here on AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
Here you are, working to keep your customers happy and to manage your cash flow. IRS problems are the last thing you need, but here they are, flapping about you like vultures. Get help from Eric Pelton and his team of accountants at E.J. Pelton Company. Audits, letters, proposed return changes, 1099s, penalty threats. Pelton Tax Resolution Services brings peace of mind and helps you keep more of what you've earned. EJPelton.com. Offices on Brainerd Road and in Saudi Daisy, just north of the Bilo. That's E.J. Pelton. Call 622-3156. Think ahead, 622-3156.
When my brother and I opened the first Jets Pizza, we believed if we made the best pizza, customers would find us. So we made fresh dough each day, used fresh toppings, and premium mozzarella cheese. 300-plus stores later, we still do.
Try Jet's famous 8-corner pizza with premium mozzarella cheese and one topping, now just $11.99 for a limited time only. Jet's Pizza, the best pizza in town. 3600 Hickson Pike.
Life is short. Eat better pizza.
Let's get Jets.
Are you tired of working in corporate America, or have you recently lost your job and would like to consider owning your own business? If you are, please call me, as I can help you look at franchises or business opportunities that fit you, the economy that we're in, and the type of businesses that are right in the greater Chattanooga area. After I help my clients find the right opportunity, I also help them find the best way to finance the business, including paying yourself through the startup phase. If you would like to learn more about opportunities that may be right for you, please call me for a free assessment. My name is Bruce Krebs at the Entrepreneur Source. Phone number is 423-875-5621.
If you have the DTs, the shakes, because your phone is on the fritz, you have nomophobia. You need help. Your telecom doctor is in. Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall. Cell Surgeon yanks open the ribcage of your phone, pries out the dead heart, and puts in the beating life that you lead on your cell phone. Broken screen, phone not charging, water damage, battery given out. Cell Surgeon at Northgate Mall next Old Chicago Pizza. Check us out on Facebook. Open Sunday. Cell Surgeon. We bring your phone back to life. Mention Hot News Talk Radio and get 10% off.
This is America Now with Meghan McCain.
Al Gore running is crazy. You're flying around in your private jet all over the world, and you want average Americans to care about the environment. Don't you think you should be doing your part as well?
Meghan McCain, weekdays at 7 p.m.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Welcome back to the Mr. Judd Show. My name is Eric Judd. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. And I am here with Keon, the sports guy, and we did a good job. We covered soccer. So now let's get into something else. You want to get into something else?
Something else that maybe people around here care about a little bit more.
That's it. Hey, you can follow us on Twitter at Hot News Talk Radio and the TuneIn app. Make sure you have that. It's free, so you're not going to be, I don't want to have to pay for an app. No, just get the app, and you can listen to us anywhere. Download the TuneIn app on your smartphone, and then just type in Hot News Talk Radio 12 AM 1240, and you can hear us anywhere you are, anywhere at all. And of course, you can hear us all the time at hotnewstalkradio.com and AM 1240. Okay, high school football starts here in earnest this weekend. And in fact, we got a pretty good big game tonight where Notre Dame travels to Ray County, and Ray County is ranked pretty high.
Was that Notre Dame or was it Baylor?
Was it Baylor or Notre Dame? I don't know. You're the sports guy. It would be Baylor. You're right. It is Baylor. So that is going to be a pretty good game because both of those teams are ranked in their respective divisions. I think Baylor is 6th and Ray County is like 2nd or 3rd. So it's going to be a big season in Ray County, just north of us. But we've got 10 other teams or 11 other teams that are ranked from the Chattanooga area in the Tennessee poll, which is pretty good. I mean, we should have a really, really good sports year.
Just a good football season. And high school football's been like, it's already just fun to watch if you know, you've got a kid that goes there or
it's fun to watch even if you don't, because it's probably the purest form of football right now.
It is you don't get caught up with all the penalties and the everything else that just kind of,
that's right.
It's purer, I guess.
Purer.
Purer.
There you go.
I don't know if that's a word. I made it up.
It
Hot News Talk Radio, breaking news.
Go.
Purer is now a word.
There you go.
But when it comes to seeing those kids put everything on the line and just go out there and play for their schools and play for their pride,
absolutely,
that's already fun to watch.
And you know, it's not quite as big as Texas where you're from, but it's pretty big here. And you know,
I would say it's pretty close.
And most of these teams are supported pretty well, and that's what's nice. You know, you see, and they put out a good product, and maybe we're going to have a state champion come out of this season in Chattanooga, and we're going to keep you updated as we go out throughout the year. We'll keep you updated on Mondays. We'll make sure you have all the information. And on Fridays, I'll do my best to get out some of the big games. It just happened to be that the big game this week was on Thursday. So,
which is
Baylor and Ray County.
Baylor and Ray County, and those Thursday games to me are kind of a treat.
Yeah, because
it's like football before the football.
It is, and they always have that one game, and then they get the spotlight. It's nice. It is nice. Hey, we need to talk a little bit about NASCAR since we are the official NASCAR station of Chattanooga. It's going to be at Bristol this week, and if you've never seen a Bristol race, I don't know why you would not. It's probably the most fun race to watch. You don't get the speeds that you get in the other racetracks, but it's like racing in a cereal bowl. I mean,
it's fun. It's just
it is.
As far as the spectacle of it.
It is.
And when you see cars, pass on the inside, there's a level of danger.
It is. It's like a little bitty bowl, and it's going to be Saturday night, and it'll be right here on Hot News Talk Radio. The race starts at 7:30. You can catch every lap of every race at AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. We are Chattanooga's official NASCAR station. You want to talk
all 500 laps?
Let's talk about Brady just a little bit. What happened with he and the NFL yesterday? I'll let you, since you are the sports reporter.
I feel like I'm probably too well versed in everything that's been happening in Deflategate and Tom Brady. Probably because this has been going on for 7 months, and I'm tired of it. Like I want it to go away.
It's a non-issue to me.
It's a non-issue, and yet it's a great victory for the NFL that we're talking about this
all summer
long,
all spring and all summer after the draft. Boom, yeah.
But with Tom Brady and the NFL are disputing the suspension that the league has handed down to Tom Brady. They want to suspend him for 4 games for deflating footballs in the AFC Championship game against the Colts last season, and Tom Brady said that he hasn't been involved with anything. There's some text between him and the staff that would suggest that maybe he was involved, but he says he's not involved, and so the league suspends him for 4 games. Well, Tom Brady is extremely prideful. He doesn't want to have that as his reputation.
Right, and I don't blame him,
So he's refusing to take the suspension. He refused to
appeal. And the NFL is refusing to maybe meet him in the middle or offer another way of punishing him.
Right. Like pay a fine.
And the judge is like, I'm over this. It's no big deal.
The judge is like, stop. I don't want to have to deal with this.
Yeah.
You figure it out.
That's it.
Well, It went to court. They didn't figure it out.
And they go back when the 31st of
Yes.
August, I believe. Yes.
And they the thing with this whole thing is that Brady is actually willing to take the suspension. It's what the suspension is for,
right?
That he has decided. You know what? No, I don't want to.
I'm not going to take it. Yeah,
I'm not going to say that I deflated footballs because I don't believe I did that.
But he said he would take it for what?
He would take it for tampering, not just tampering, but for not cooperating with the league's investigation of Deflategate.
And you would think the NFL would take that because then it kind of show, he's giving something, they're getting what they want. But I think sometimes Roger Goodell is just, I don't know. He's stubborn
he's heavy-handed.
He's more prideful than anyone else. Hey, we've got another break. We got Fox News coming up. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. After our show's The Digital Drive, and I'm going to find out what the kids doing at break. And then when we come back, we're going to talk top 25 college football preseason poll, and we're going to talk about what you've got going on in the afternoons and give an update on text, because I'm getting inundated with people on Twitter calling me, calling my cell phone, calling me at 3 a.m. in the morning, going, what's going on with text? And we're going to let you know all about that. You're listening to the Mr. Judd Show. This is Eric Judd on Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 a.m. or AM 1240 or A 1240 M. Whatever you want to put there.
In whichever order, really doesn't matter to us.
Absolutely, it does. Enjoy Fox News. We'll be right back. And why will we not come back? Even the great Donald and the great David, the two D's in our life right now. We may touch on Donald Trump just a little bit. How about that?
Just a little bit.
Because that's a sport in itself. All right. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
A few scattered showers and thunder showers will move on through for the afternoon. Still lots of clouds out there. Highs into the lower 80s. Tonight, becoming partly cloudy, a little milder lows, mid and upper 60s. For Friday, a drier day, more sunshine, nice highs, lower to middle 80s. Looking good for the first half of the weekend as well. Check out Burger King. Looking for an inside deal? Burger King's got the answer. Download the Burger King app now to get exclusive savings of up to $30. Restrictions apply at Burger King. And I'm WDEF News 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Scott, Aaron, David Tulis inviting you to make the move with me 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays here at AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. The David Tulis Show, featuring Nooganomics.com for Chattanooga and beyond. 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
A few scattered showers and thunder showers will move on through for the afternoon.
I'd probably run for president of the southern states. The day Elvis passed away would be our national holiday. If the South would have won, we'd have had it made.
NASCAR, Laura Ingraham, David Tulis, Coast to Coast AM, and CBS Radio News. Chattanooga's news, talk, and sports leader.
News Talk 1240.
This is the Fox News Alert. I'm Lillian Wu. Former President Jimmy Carter says his life is in God's hands now. This morning, the cancer found on his liver has spread.
A few scattered showers and thunder showers will move on through for the afternoon. Still lots.
They are very small spots, about 2 millimeters, if you can envision what a millimeter is. And I'll get my first radiation treatment for the melanoma in my brain this afternoon.
90-year-old speaking at the Carter Center in Atlanta.
Carter will follow that up with 3 more chemotherapy sessions in 3-week intervals. The 39th president has remained very active in his humanitarian work since his re-election defeat in 1980. He says that he's very upbeat about what lies ahead in the next few months.
Fox Radio's John Decker. And the Labor Department says first-time jobless claims last week ticked up to 277,000. Home sales soared in July to the fastest pace since 2007. Fox News, we report, you decide.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
A few scattered showers and thundershowers will move on through for the afternoon. Still lots of clouds out there. Highs into the lower 80s. Tonight, becoming partly cloudy, a little milder lows, mid and upper 60s. For Friday, a drier day, more sunshine, nice highs, lower to middle 80s. Looking good for the first half of the weekend as well. Check out Burger King. Looking for an inside deal? Burger King's got the answer. Download the Burger King app now to get exclusive savings of up to $30. Restrictions apply at Burger King. And I'm WDEF News 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Ford.
You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. This is the Mr. Judd Show. I am Eric Judd. Be sure if you're about to get ready to go to lunch or you're going to be out, maybe you're going to try to mow your yard. I wouldn't do that today, but maybe you're going to go work out or do something productive. Then make sure you grab that TuneIn radio app and just download it. It's free, and then listen to Hot News Talk Radio wherever you are. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter, where we give you the opportunity to report any news that's going on in the region, and then you report, and we'll let Chattanooga and the world decide, and that's at Hot News Talk Radio on Twitter. Okay, we have tried to get this in, but we're going to get this in now. Let's talk top 25 college football. I'm with Keon, who is our sports guy, and we're going to have a huge announcement for him and then let everybody know where Tex is. Okay, so Ohio State's number one. You good with that?
I am. I think they deserve to be number one.
I think so too.
Defending national champs, and they really haven't lost anybody.
They haven't lost anybody, and I think that now we can kind of get into the dispute. We'll go through the top 10 pretty quick. Baylor, you good with Baylor at number 2?
TCU's actually number 2.
Okay. What are you looking at?
I'm at the.
You at ESPN?
I'm at ESPN
because I'm looking at the coaches poll on USA Today.
Oh, okay. So I've got the USA Today poll.
Yeah, and they got TCU at 6, but we'll go with yours. Who you got number 3? Alabama. That's who I have.
Alabama is 3 for me.
Okay.
I actually would flip TCU and Baylor from your poll there, because TCU has the better defense.
Right.
Baylor's been known to not really defend anybody.
Yeah, they don't even think about defense.
Every game is a shootout for them.
No, I'm with you.
They'll score 60, and as long as you score 59, they're okay.
Right.
You know, I think that you can't win like that long term. And I know they did beat TCU last season at TCU, but I mean, it still doesn't matter to me. I think they've got a better quarterback this season too. TCU does. Trevon Boykin.
Well, Baylor's replacing their quarterback, right? Or is he coming back? Did he come back?
They're replacing him.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Bryce Petty
he's in the NFL.
Buffalo Bill now.
Yeah, and he may start, they said. That
right.
tells you how good the Bills are. But then you have Alabama, and Alabama is another team that's looking for a quarterback. They're going to be okay defensively. As usual.
Yeah. And they'll run the ball well because they're Bama. I'm trying to remember what the name of their quarterback was. He hurt his foot just this week.
Well, they had the transfer from Florida State, and then they had another guy that they had brought in too. So my understanding is they haven't picked a quarterback yet. So that's still up for grabs.
They hadn't. It was actually
but Alabama, Alabama is going to be Alabama, as you say.
It's just going to be hard for them to really make a case of staying in that top 4, as strong as the SEC is, without a quarterback of some kind,
right,
that they can rely on.
Because they're going to have to spread the ball out, even though they do have a great running game. Because defense is the key in on your running game, and if you can't spread the ball around, I don't care how good you are.
Like eventually, you can't run against 8 in the box. And the thing is, with Alabama being in that SEC West is so brutal defensively. Like all of those teams are really good defensive teams.
And getting better, and they're all getting better. I mean, even A&M, who was they were the ones in the West that maybe they don't play defense as strong. They've gone out and got John Chavis, and now they're
going to be a juggernaut.
They're going to be very good. Yeah.
Boy. I mean, that's
so.
Tough.
All right, who do you have? We're going to go with your poll because who do you have at number 4?
Number 4 is Baylor.
Baylor, okay, and we've already talked about them. Number 5,
Oregon.
Okay, and that's going to be interesting because they're replacing their quarterback.
Yep, they're replacing Mariota though.
Because he's at the Titans.
He is, and he's not looking too bad.
I tell you, I watched that game, and his first option was not to run. He may have didn't move in the pocket as good as he should, as far as stepping up in the pocket. But then he's a rookie; he's going to learn that, and he's not a pocket guy. The other concern was him being under center, because he was always in the shotgun. He pulled out under center fine, so I thought he did real well there.
Yeah, he's definitely shown that he's got it. And Oregon replacing him, I'm not worried about that, just because that Oregon offense is just plug and play.
Yes.
You find another guy that can.
Yeah, you could play there, couldn't you?
I mean, you and I could probably fit into that offense
I'm
somewhere.
Sure
just
I
because,
could.
Yes,
I am
you could.
Sure I could.
Over there.
Slothfoot.
The Pac-12.
Yeah, that's it. All right. So who do we have after the great Oregon?
Michigan State.
Okay. You know what? And they're always a good, solid, all-around team. They have good offense, and of course, they play pretty good defense. And I would say, they're going to have a good team.
And in the Big Ten, that schedule is not really that tough. Like you talk about the SEC West being a murderer's row.
No.
The Big Ten has got Ohio State, it's got Michigan State, and that's about it.
You're right.
Like that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, you may have another team. You may have a Nebraska or even a Penn State. Get lucky, but that's it.
Yeah, nobody that consistently is challenging.
No, I agree. I agree, and it's all right. So who do we have after Michigan State?
Auburn.
Oh, really?
Which
I don't know.
I'm suspicious of that also.
I mean, and I like Gus Malzahn. He's an Arkansas guy. Why would I not like him? I think he has a very unique offense. But I think people are starting to figure him out a little bit. And I think defensively, they're another team. They bring in, Muschamp, but I think they need a year or two under Muschamp.
Right.
But
because Muschamp's a brilliant defensive guy.
But people love Auburn. I guess they think they have all the pieces there, even though they're replacing their quarterback.
And I think that's probably what's helping them, is that a lot of people are replacing their quarterback this season. And so,
especially in the SEC.
Yeah. So you're not at a complete disadvantage because the other guy's replacing their quarterback too. So you've got Mississippi State has got Dak Prescott still coming back.
But he has nothing around him. That's what I hate, because he could put together a Heisman season, but he doesn't have anything around him.
Well,
that's
true.
Poor guy. He's going to be running for his life.
Yes.
He ran for his life at times last year.
And I don't see why anything would change this year.
No. So after Auburn, we have two SEC teams right now, and then we've got two.
And if you look at the top 25, they're mostly SEC teams.
Yeah.
Really.
From the West.
The West. Yeah. The East, too. Tennessee sneaks in at 25.
And I think, it's going to be interesting to see how Tennessee does this year. Because I think if they don't put 9 wins on the board, their fans are going to be mad.
In revolt. With all the hype of everything last year, they had that season that nobody expected.
Yes.
And then they switched to Nike this year. They did the Game of Thrones ads. With,
they did.
Bush Jones sitting on the throne of.
So who do you have after Auburn on your poll? Because my poll's totally different. I may be looking at a poll from 3 years ago.
I don't know. I'm actually starting to doubt my poll.
Yeah.
It's the one that they had up on their page.
Yeah. So we have Auburn, and then who?
Florida State.
That's going to be interesting because they are replacing Jameson, who's a.
And honestly, I don't know what to think of Florida State.
Well, they have the transfer from Virginia, so that ought to be interesting.
Yes.
And he got some weird transfer that he was there last year and he gets to play this year. I thought he had to sit out a year. But that's going to be an interesting thing.
There's some weird stipulations out about, what causes you to be able to sit out when you transfer. I don't know all of them.
I don't either, because they change. It changes constantly. And then we've got the Bulldogs, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yes.
They're number 9.
They're number 9 and the favorite to win the East in the SEC. It's going to be between them and Tennessee. Like when they meet,
I think you got to be careful of South Carolina because Spurrier's one of these guys when nobody thinks he can do anything, all of a sudden is when he does something.
That's true.
And number 10 is that to me. Number 10, I'm not sold on USC. And that's the University of Southern California, because around here they think it's South Carolina.
It's South Carolina.
But I'm just not sold on their coach, what's his name, Sarkisian or whatever?
Yes.
He didn't do anything in Washington.
I'm not sold on him, and I'm not I don't know. They're a big, strong team because they're out there in California. They can pick from basically wherever they want to, but there's just something about that offense that doesn't look like it works to me.
It doesn't. It's I don't know. I'm not sold on him being a coach.
Honestly, I think Arizona's better than them this season.
I think you might be right.
Arizona won 8 or 9 games last season with freshmen.
I know.
Everywhere.
And now they've got a year under their belt. So, but no one's talking about Arizona, which
They're
might be a good thing for them.
A little bit.
All right, we've got one more segment left, and we will get to what you, Kiana, are going to be doing this afternoon. Where's Tex? What is going on the digital drive? I mean, did you see it yesterday? He was out of control on the day. If you're not watching the digital drive just to watch the kid, you need to go to YouTube and just Hot News Talk Radio and watch him. It's worth watching. Just watch him and what he's doing. And that's the digital drive, comes up at noon right after this show. You're listening to Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. And my name is Eric Judd. I'm I am the Mr. Judd Show. I have Keon with me today. We're going to finish our discussion. He has a big announcement that may only be temporary, but you never know.
I hope not.
So we're going to do that. We're going to do that right after we send you to some of our wonderful sponsors. So please visit these people today.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
A few scattered showers and thunder showers will move on through for the afternoon. Still lots of clouds out there. Highs into the lower 80s. Tonight, becoming partly cloudy, a little milder lows, mid and upper 60s. For Friday, a drier day, more sunshine, nice highs, lower to middle 80s. Looking good for the first half of the weekend as well. Check out Burger King. Looking for an inside deal? Burger King's got the answer. Download the Burger King app now to get exclusive savings of up to $30. Restrictions apply at Burger King. And I'm WDEF News 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Sky Aerial Services uses advanced drone technology to give you a better perspective and depth of your property and project. We offer aerial photography and video for your business, farm, home, or advertising campaigns, as well as editing services to complete the experience. Call us at 423-521-0284 and see how we can help you tell your story about your business, property, or project. We work with real estate professionals, both commercial and residential, developers, engineer inspectors, surveyors, ad agencies, auto and boat dealers, mapping services, insurance inspectors, corporate marketing, charity events, weddings, and photographers. Our consultation is free. Call 423-521-0284. That's 423-521-0284, or visit our website, skyaerialservices.com. Sky Aerial Services. The sky is our
All systems go!
Got a printing project on deadline? Advantage Printing in Brainerd offers the highest quality one-stop service in Chattanooga. Graphic design, printing, addressing. Don't create a mailer unless you first check with Alan about the latest postal hassle. He'll handle the whole thing for you. Advantage Printing. Your advantage is in our name. 4031 Brainerd Road next to the Bilo. Print digital or offset, wide format, engineering drawings, start to finish. Advantage Printing. Check the details with Alan. 629-1800. That's 629-1800.
All systems go!
Hi, I'm David Tulis, inviting you to make the move with me 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays here at AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. The David Tulis Show, featuring Nooganomics.com for Chattanooga and beyond. 9 to 11 a.m. weekdays.
You want more business. You want to increase your bottom line. You want to spend less on advertising, imaging your business, and general expenses. You need Trade Bank. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Trade Bank. Call now to get access to nearly 400 local businesses. Trade Bank. Call 877-2202. 877-2202. Trade Bank. You want to increase your cash flow, your competitive edge, attract new customers, and build a loyal customer base. You need Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call right now. 877-2202. When you join Trade Bank, you'll get the benefit of free advertising in our monthly magazine, tradebank.com, emails, and mailouts. Join Trade Bank now and receive your Trade Bank debit card with trade credits to spend any way you want with our wide variety of Trade Bank partners. For almost 30 years, Trade Bank has been your voice for small business, a member of the American Bankers Association, and in good standing with you. Trade Bank of Chattanooga. Call now for a free consultation, 877-2202. That's 877-2202. Trade Bank of Chattanooga.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
You are listening to the Mr. Judd Show. My name is Eric Judd, and we're happy to have you listening and hopefully watching us on YouTube at Hot News Talk Radio. This is Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240. As always, you can get us on the TuneIn app, and that is free. Download it, type in Hot News Talk Radio, 1240 AM, and boom, we're right there. And follow us on Twitter at Hot News Talk Radio. Once again, a reminder, go to the Chattanooga's for Justice Facebook page and help us out with the guys that are feeding people, the bus stop ministry. And if you can drop off donations, they need breakfast, dry good items, and they need also toiletry items. You can drop it off here at the radio station, 4706 Hickson Pike. That's 4706 Hickson Pike. And I want to remind you, too, the Birth and Wellness Expo is coming up October the 17th, and that's going to be at Camp Jordan. We'll have more on that a little later, but you can go to their Facebook page, and it's Chat, CHATTBN. That's CHATTBN. You'll want to be a part of that. And I am with Keon Rose, and Keon is our sports guy. You've heard him here the past couple of weeks, but we want to do something here because he has some things going on, and we want to first give you an update on Tex. Oh my gosh, where is Tex? Everybody has been asking me and been here for 2 days, where is Tex? I'm getting calls in the middle of the night and all of that, and everybody's wanting to know, where is Tex?
Where did he go?
Well, he left Friday night. He went to Waco. He is driving a herd of cattle, after all he is Tex, to Chicago, to the slaughterhouse. So that's going to take him about a week and a half. And he's on this cattle drive. That's why you hadn't heard from him. So he's okay. And I tell you what, I guarantee you, I know Tex, I can guarantee you this. He will get those cattle there on time and probably with only one or two strays missing, because he is our cowboy. He cowboys it up. His name is Tex. But in his place, filling the big boots, carrying now Keon doesn't carry two revolvers, two ivory coated handled revolvers the way Tex does. But you carry a Luger, right?
I actually do not own any weapons at all.
Well, you got to, if you're going to step into his place, you've got to.
I'm good with my fists.
That's man, he's Kung Fu guy.
I mean,
oh yeah, Keon, the Kung Fu guy.
Bruce Lee.
There you go.
Bruce Lee movies.
I hear you.
That's my education.
You're going to be filling in from 6 to 7 this afternoon, and until Tex gets back, and he's probably going to take him a while to get back because he's going to be saddle sore. You know, riding a horse that far, he's got to be saddle
like
sore.
Even when he comes back, just you can take it easy.
Yeah, he'll be a little more bow-legged, but you're going to step in, Keon, and tell us what kind of show that our listeners at Hot News Talk Radio AM 1240 should expect. Well,
Hot News Talk Radio listeners are intelligent people, so I want to talk a little bit of politics and things that matter to them. But also, I am a sports guy. I grew up a sports fan, following many teams and keeping my head in that. And if I ever go to Twitter, I'm pretty much inundated in sports news. That's all I've got on my feed.
With your Twitter handle as Sports Cloud, I wonder why you're inundated with sport. That might have something to do with it.
That might have something to do with it. So I'd like to talk mostly about that and get into a little bit more in depth than some of the things we talk about here. We kind of brush on top of the surface of sports and jump around and do a lot.
We do.
And I'd like to take some of those.
But you're going to get in depth,
dig a little deeper.
Okay, so it's going to be kind of like Cowboy It with Tex, only totally different.
Completely different.
There you
and
go.
With more sports.
And I know that you got the blessing. You went before and you knelt, and he took his sword and he kind of knighted you
with his pistols. His ivory.
When I was talking about DT, the one and only, Mr. David Tulis, he knighted you and said, "You have my blessing, son. Go forth and be the sports guy."
Go forth. It was. I got the blessing of the David.
That's it.
So
that's it. The David. You know what? Politics has the Donald, and we at Hot News Talk Radio AM 1240 have the David.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. Well, so your show starts at 6:05 or 6 o'clock. It's right after the hot news at 5. So you people listen to that going home because they get all their traffic and weather and all their news. So just stick around, because then after that, do you have a name for your show yet? Are you still?
I'm still working on it, which that's a harder thing to do than people realize.
It's
like come up with the name of a show. Like if I call the show the Keon Rose Show, is it my ego? Or
it's always your ego. You're in radio.
But do I want to make a Rose-related pun? I
think
have
you
no
should.
idea.
I think you've got to play on the last name.
So I got to do something.
Yeah, I agree. Well, you're going to want to listen to Keon today from 6 till 7, and he's going to get in depth with sports. And he's a very knowledgeable guy. You know, you need to watch on YouTube because the guy's like 6'6". And so you don't even, we can't even get him all on the webcam. He's that big. He's 6'6". And I mean, I'm a pretty big fella, but he probably outweighs me by a good 50 pounds. And I mean, cut. How much time you spend in the gym? I know you said you do some kickboxing and kung fu and stuff like that. You spend hours in the gym every day, don't you?
I spend at least an hour.
Yeah, I know. And that's minimum. That's 7 days a week. All right. Speaking, since I'm going to give you sports. I'm handing you the sports mantle off for your show this afternoon. Let's talk a little politics, because I know we both had talked about, we have the David here. We're talking about David Tulis, the great DT. And let's talk about the Donald, because that's kind of a sport politics thing
in and of itself. Like the entertainment value of Donald Trump is close to exceeding the NFL. Like one of the first debate, the ratings for it were close to a regular season NFL game, which is already difficult to do
for anybody else,
for anybody, much less a political.
And I wonder how many people watched just to see him, what he would do, what he wouldn't do, would he lose it, would he not lose it?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna say probably 75% of the people watching it were for that.
He is the drama. Like we both like Ben Carson and think that he's thoughtful, smart candidate, but also Ben Carson doesn't bring you that entertainment value. Like you know that Ben Carson's not going to lose.
No, he's mild mannered and he's kind of serious. He's Clark Kent, and then I wouldn't call Donald Superman. I'd call him
Donald Trump, like Bizarro Superman.
There you go. That's exactly who he is. You never know what he's going to say, and I will say, he always has an opinion.
That's for sure.
And I like that he doesn't back down just because he, it may not be expressing the opinion of what other people may think, and they get on him and try to say, you need to back off this. He sticks to his guns. And I like that part about him. I'm not a big fan of some of his opinions,
of his ideas. I think with Donald too, he's the kind of guy that is refreshing to see, just because you see a guy that's not up there pretending and promising you things that he can't keep. Like when he tells you, I'm going to build a wall along the border of Mexico, and I'm going to make.
He believes he's going to build a wall.
He really thinks that he can do that.
You know who else is like that? The kid on the digital drive. Man, he's in your face. When he says something, he does it. I think right now, I'm pretty sure he has access to Hillary's server. I am almost sure he does. And you're probably going to hear more about that on his show. And that's the digital drive. And that's the kid, the one and only kid. I mean, he's got that Donald about him. Bam, I'll get in your face. And here's what I'm going to do.
Except with more technology.
Yeah. He's more technical in that where Donald's more general like me. He's very technical and he gets in it.
When it comes to,
you know what? Next Thursday, you going to be on the show next Thursday?
I am.
We have to do something for the kid.
What are you
thinking? Know what we have to do? We didn't do it on this show, but next Thursday, you have to listen because we're going to help the kid out. But more importantly, you got to listen today from 5 to 6 because that's Hot News at 5. You're going to get your traffic and weather. Make sure you get home okay, and we're going to get you all the news of the day. But then the show with Keon Rose or with Rose, the the rose is off the bloom, whatever show you name it. Keon has the show from 6 to 7, and he's not going to be cowboying up, and he's not going to be driving cattle.
No, I'm not a real life wrangler.
No. You're going to be wrangling in some sports, though, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. Talk a little Titans and Falcons.
Preseason?
Preseason tonight as well. The Falcons play tomorrow.
Right.
And the Titans play Sunday night.
And the Titans are at home. I think they're playing St. Louis, which ought to be interesting because the coach from the Rams was once the Titans coach.
Jeff
so
Fisher.
That's going to be interesting to see.
And I've been liking all the things that the Titans have done this offseason. They went out and got some nice receivers.
And you going to be talking Redskins?
A little bit.
There
I'll
you go.
Subject people to that.
There you go. Because you are a Washington Redskins.
I was actually told there are a few Redskins fans in this area because the radio broadcasts back in the day used to reach here.
Or it's the TV broadcast. That's all you would get here. Yeah, before the Titans come in, you from the NFC, you got the Washington Redskins.
Okay, because I've seen Redskins stuff. I've gone to sports bars and
that's why.
We got to be miserable.
Isn't that amazing?
Together. It was a support group.
There you go. Miserable together. All right. You want to listen to Keon's show? That's going to be from 6 to 7. You got Hot News at 5 from 5 to 6. But after me, the superstar of Hot News Talk Radio, AM 1240, the one, the only, the kid himself of Digital Drive. Do not miss it. Best lunch you can have is the Digital Drive. My name is Eric Judd. This is the Mr. Judd Show. I will be back tomorrow at 11:05 sharp. Have a great Thursday.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
A few scattered showers and thundershowers will move on through for the afternoon. Still lots of clouds out there. Highs into the lower 80s. Tonight, becoming partly cloudy, a little milder lows, mid and upper 60s. For Friday, a drier day, more sunshine, nice highs, lower to middle 80s. Looking good for the first half of the weekend as well.